Well, it's time to do some load testing. Let's go. What's up everybody, Joe here with Scruffy Arms. Alright, today I'm at the range testing out my very first hand loads. And we're starting with the 6.5 Creedmoor. So my 6.5 Creedmoor is the Ruger American Go Wild Gen 1. This is actually being set up for my wife. So the base is the Ruger American Go Wild. We have it in an MDT Oryx chassis. We have a right-on 3-18 by 50 first focal plane mill reticle on here, and then I have my Yankee Hill Resonator K suppressor. So new fun tool I've got, guys, is the Garmin chronograph. So these 4 shots were factory ammo, so this is what I was looking at for factory ammo here. And you can see with the factory ammo, there's a pretty decent spread of velocities. So what I'm looking for is consistent velocities out of my loads, okay? And we're using 129 grain soft points because I'm trying to do a hunting load. This is a deer hunting load for my wife. And I'm looking for consistent velocities and good accuracy. That's all I'm really looking for today. I'm not trying to eke out the most velocity as possible. I'm just trying to get a good baseline for what we got. So I'm using Varget powder and I'm using Hornady brass because that's what I've shot the most of with the 6.5 Creedmoor. So we're starting at 36.4 grains. We're going to work our way up to 37.5 grains. The Hornady reloading manual caps out, I think, at 38.2 or 38.3 for Varget. I'm starting in the middle. We're going to work out from there. I'm going to see if any of these 6 loadings that I've got today are going to be good for what we're doing. So I'm going to do something a little bit different today. Instead of showing me shooting, guys, I'm going to actually have you guys watching the velocities, and we're going to see what type of velocities we can get out of these hand loads. We're going to see if these hand loads are going to be good and effective. I've got a target set up down there that's just got 6 red circles. Each one is listed with the grain weights, and we're going to go from there. So I'm going to go ahead, and I just got this thing zeroed with factory ammo, and we used the Hornady American Whitetail because it's a 129 grain interlock, which is the exact same bullet that we're using. And we're going to see what the difference is between my hand loads and the factory loads. And I'm really excited about this. We're going to have a lot more videos like this, but I'm going to get everything set up, guys. I'm going to reset the Garmin for what I'm doing today, and we're going to go from there. See you in a sec. Alright guys, I loaded up 3 rounds. We're loaded with 36.4 grains of the Varget. If I didn't say, I'm using Winchester large rifle primers. So, never hand loaded before. These are my first hand loads. Let's see how I did. It's a good primer strike. 25-44. Okay, so a little slow on the velocities, which kind of expected. This is the lightest grain weight we're doing. So we averaged 25.7. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and let the rifle cool off for a second. That did a ridiculously tight group. Holy cow. That's why you hand load. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and let the rifle cool off for a second. I'm going to record this data in my log, and we'll get going with the next one. Alright guys, loaded up with 36.6 grains now. 36.6. little bit bigger group. That was on me. I was shaking. Not bad. Everything was good with our pressures and our primer strikes, so that's good. Sorry guys, I shot that last one, forgot to hit record on the camera. So that last one was 36.8. Massive point of impact shift on that. It was a huge point of impact shift, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that for these next groups. So creeping up, this one had a much larger spread, so let's look at that real quick. Yeah, so that's a pretty big spread. I don't know about that. Okay, well, I'll record this data and I will remember to hit record on the next one. All right, guys, we're at 37 grains now. 37 grains. All right. All right. We'll let the rifle cool, and we'll move on to the next one. Everything's still looking good. All right, guys, we are now at 37.3 grains of Varget. Let's see how this does. Oh, we're running into our other group over there. That's okay. Alright. There we go. Picking up our speed a little bit, which is what I would expect. Everything looks good so far on this end, so... Alright, last one we've got today is 37.5 grains. So I'll go ahead and get those loaded up, and we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, last group we've got 37.5. 37.5 of the Varget in 6.5 Creedmoor. Final group. Let's see how we do here. Ooh, that kind of surprised me. Whoops. Well, that's a much larger group, but one of those, it was 100% me. But I'm looking for... Oh, no. Well, guys, I totally missed. So those of you that are watching probably saw that. I hit record and didn't hit start on my chronograph. So, I do not know the velocities on that last group we just did. So we'll have to load up some more of that and come back out and check it out. But I'm going to go pull the targets, and we'll kind of talk about what we saw here and go from there. Well, alright guys, So, yep, I definitely missed hitting the chronograph. So, looking at the groups, they're all really good, which is exactly what you would expect out of a hand loads. So I'm going to see how I did against the factory loads. So I had 4 shots of the factory loads that averaged 2683.6 feet per second with a standard deviation of 17.2. Okay. My first loading, which was the 36.4, we averaged 2525.7 feet per second, a standard deviation of 13.4, and that was by far the tightest group of the day. That is, I don't even know if I could measure that. It is that small. Okay. Next, we did the 36.6 grains. This one was really good. 2534.4 average feet per second. A standard deviation of 2.2 feet per second. That's why you hand load. So that, I don't know if you guys can see it there, right? That was 36.6. All right, 36.8. We were 2555 feet per second, standard deviation of 14.4. And this one, it's hard to see because I had 2 groups go together. It was 1, 2, and then 3. This one here, this little hole here. So 1, 2, and 3, this little hole. These 3 were a different group. So 1, 2, and 3. So not bad. Standard deviation's a little bit higher than I would like it to be. All right. The next one was our 37 grains, and this did pretty good. 2572.8, standard deviation of 8. And I made an adjustment on the optic after all that other craziness. That's a little under an inch. It's not bad. And then the last one that I actually recorded was the 37.3, and it was 2598.9 with a standard deviation of 16.6. So that one, I don't know what was going on there, but just under 2600 feet per second. And we did this little group here, these 3 shots right here. Okay. And our last group was that 37.5. That was me. That was the one where I was like, oh, that surprised me. It jumped and went way up here. And we had these 2. I'm going to guess those were all in that 2600 foot per second realm. I kind of want to be in that 2600 feet per second. I think that gives us really good energy on target. So, you know, overall, guys, this Garmin Zero, this thing is freaking amazing. If you guys are hand loading or really want to get the most out of your sessions, like, I can't say enough about this thing. It is so tiny, so easy to use, absolutely wonderful. I'm very, very pleased with seeing this out of the hand loads. This rifle, it's not too hot. I was giving it time in between resting, but this 6.5 Creedmoor is being set up for my wife to use as her hunting rifle. Just the availability of customizing it to her is what really the thing she was looking for, and a lighter recoiling rifle that was still good enough to handle any whitetail and a lot of different things that we hunt here in Wisconsin. This 6.5 Creedmoor can do all of it. And the rig that I've got her set up in, it's about a 10-pound rifle right now as everything goes, almost 11 pounds. So when you mix that with doing our hand loads where I can handle what the velocities are, there's hardly any recoil to this thing at all. Not coming off target. Everything is pretty simple. I was a little nervous about doing hand loads. The first time you ever shoot your own stuff is always a little nerve-wracking, but it turned out really well. I am very, very happy with these groups. This Ruger American has shot everything really well, so I'm not surprised. That last group is on me, and I feel bad about that because everything else was rocking really, really good. I will go home, I'll measure all those, I'll put that here at the end of the video so you guys can see what it is. But if you guys aren't subscribed, like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It just really helps our channel grow. So until next time, guys, stay blessed.